Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody. Welcome to episode number 5.
Number 5.
I'm sitting here with the host of Diablo's Den podcast,
That's
Danny
me.
Diablo, Lord Isaac. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? And
Man, so this is a milestone. We made it to episode 5.
number 5.
And we've got some
Thank you.
really great guests here, and I'm going to let
we
Danny
listen.
introduce.
Check this out. I got in the world I'm from, punk rock, hardcore world, like New York hardcore world, whatever. There's people that do things. There's other people who set trends, and other people who will always be edging my heart forever. And both you guys, no matter what, you guys both accomplished so much in life, but you guys are like the sweetest people in the world. Like
Well, it depends on the hour of the day.
Yeah, well, Mina, you're amazing.
And it depends.
I love you too. But you guys, I love both of you, and I'm
thank
so
you.
happy that you guys even made time.
Of course.
Yes,
to come
thank you
here
so
and
much.
speak. So it's like
Listen, I was so honored that you asked and so nervous. And
Why?
So I'm still, I don't know if it's
Why are you
caffeine
nervous?
shakes or because you're like street warrior fucking Isaac. I used to see you like when I was 15 years old, roaming Lower East Side all by myself. And all the time, me and Isaac he was across the street. You used to have your shaved red hair. Remember? Back like in 1992 or
Yeah,
93,
yeah.
man. I used to see you cruising all the time through the streets of the Lower East Side, and I always felt safe because, I always, coming from our world, like
yeah,
Isaac was saying, and like, switching it up and being the human being that I am and that I am growing to be, like, I never thought that, like, and I always knew this inside of me, my innate core. I was always the way I was,
Yeah.
and always seeing people like Isaac in the street and knowing that he had my back and he had love for me no matter what I was, how I was expressing myself was very, very significant and just beautiful. So, like,
That's awesome.
Now, like, I feel like life is like
Like a full circle.
a lot of full circles going on in life, like even in the LOA camp and the crew and
Yeah.
friendships and
I mean, can I even just say having you on the show, like we were just mentioning before we got on? I mean, I've known Michael before. Mina, I've just met today.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And I've seen you play so many shows. I mean,
He's like a
ask
fucking
him, like
fan.
I'm like
He's a fan, yeah.
the solo albums used to get them imported. It was like
Thank
so
you.
full circle to have you here is such an honor, and I really, really thank you guys.
yeah, I'm
for
very
making
honored.
the time.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you.
like,
And of course, we have Michael Alago.
yes, Michael Alago.
So we had Drew Stone on a couple episodes back, who directed this great film about you.
oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
So
Yes.
Drew,
If
we
you
love
have
you,
not-
Drew, you
Love you,
if
fucker.
you have not checked that out,
Mr. Stone.
please check that out so you can find out a little bit more information about Michael Alago. But we are so
Well,
excited
you didn't
today.
even say that the name of the documentary is Who the Fuck Is That
The
Guy?
Guy.
The Fabulous Journey of
We were
Michael
gonna get
Alago.
Yes.
And it's been on Netflix for about a year now, and it's doing, like, incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
You
great
know,
to see it everywhere, and I think
Drew was just in Tel Aviv, and he was in a hotel room, and it came on TV there.
In Israel.
So he freeze framed a screenshot, and it's Cyndi Lauper with all
Oh, no
these
shit.
Hebrew letters
That's
underneath
awesome.
her, and it's like people are seeing it all over the world
That's
a year
amazing.
later, and the response we're getting is extraordinary.
it's so cool. It's so cool
really-
to see your
thank you.
story, especially someone like myself who comes from behind the scenes in the music industry. It's so cool to see that stuff be exposed because
Sure.
there's tons of documentaries about artists and
Yeah.
bands, and it's like, there's a lot of stuff like the people like us who make the stuff happen. So it's so cool. So a lot of respect to Drew for making
Thank you.
that. So
Absolutely. Thank
before we jump into the show, we know we got our little thing we always got to do. Our great sponsor, Oak and Crow Coffee.
Oak and Crow Coffee, everyone. They do
They do a killer Diablo's Den dark roast, which if you have not
Get the
checked
fuck
that
out
out,
of here, man. I want a dark
Oh,
roast.
we'll have to get you some, Mina. It is.
Of
Where's my
course you
fucking
do.
dark roast?
So Danny compares it to Cafe Bustelo with a couple extra shots of cocaine.
Yeah.
So if you need something like that
I
to
can't
really get
even
you
do
up.
it.
if you ever stay up all night and get your work done, take my coffee.
Okay.
And the best part
That's
is
all we have to
you
do.
use the discount code DMS and you get 10% off.
Yeah.
Guys, we don't make this up. Danny is serious. We got to have you guys buy some coffee.
Oak and
So
Crow
big
coffee.
shout out to Jake for always coming through and helping us out with the show. Jake, thank you so much. I also just want to say too, Jake was so honored to be supporting this episode in particular because of both of you guys.
Oh,
And he
wonderful.
loved both of you guys and everything you guys are about. So Jake, thank you, and I just wanted to pass the message
Thank
from
you,
Jake
Jake.
to you guys. So thank you so much to Oak and Crow.
Oak and Crow.
OakandCrow.com. Go order a bunch of coffee.
Diablo's Dark Roast.
All right, and then the other thing as we start our show is what everyone is listening to. So I've been rocking a couple of things real quick. Death Ray Vision. Have you heard of this band?
No.
Me either.
It's great. So it's actually the guys from Killswitch Engage.
New York?
It's the guys from Killswitch Engage playing like more of like a hardcore sounding record. It's
Who's
really
singing?
good.
Who's singing?
So it used to have Brian Fair from Shadows Fall, but they replaced him with another dude, and it has I don't know the new dude's name. I'm not sure. I don't think it was anything bad. It just happened, but it's a great record. So I want to plug that, and then I also quickly want to plug Safe Inside Records, who you'll remember. You remember Built to Last, the band Built to Last, Burt, California. They're on Victory with us back in the day.
Yes.
So that's our dude Bert's label, and they did a Slugfest and a Despair discography. Scott Vogel Terror.
What's up, Scott?
So check out those records. I always like Isaac give me the looks when we're recommending bands. So check out things on Safe Inside and give the Despair and the Slugfest discography a listen and check out Time and Pressure. E, what have you been rocking here or watching? I know a lot of people had questions about some movies you were talking about that you saw.
I saw Lords of Chaos.
Yup. And you had a really great tweet about that people.
Listen. Ever since growing up, and people say this is crazy or this dude's crazy, I'm like, let me see.
Let's see.
Right. See what's
Yeah,
going
right.
on. And
How many fucking battle wounds do you have? You know what I mean?
But I saw the movie, and whoever directed it was amazing. And Macaulay Culkin's little brother,
Rory Culkin.
It looks like Kid Rock a little
Yep.
bit.
Yeah.
He killed it. he killed it. I'm like, but the movie is it's sad and violent. And to me, say something's violent, it was violent in a weird way.
That's what I heard.
Like
It's
in a like stab you in the back, like not in a way like you watch. How can I say? I watched the one with Russell Crowe, Gladiator. That was
yeah.
That was a
I
violent
love
movie.
that film.
Gladiator's great.
But-
One of the best
But
films.
but this movie's like those kids they were like really weird. They say they're all black men, but they were like
nerdy,
Dungeons Dragon
yeah.
nerds. But they were doing some horrible stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was just when I saw what happened, I was like, oh, it bothered me a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it bothered me. If you gotta watch the movie and how these dudes were like they were friends and they were just like killing each other in weird ways, and it was just
Weird.
It was weird, but then again,
What, like snuff weird?
no, like the dude. I don't watch the movie, but
Okay,
then
all right.
both you guys would watch the movie, and he'd be like, "You understand what I'm saying?" It was like it didn't have to happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it wasn't drugs or anything like that. It's just weird Norwegian people. You know,
So is it based on a band?
Mayhem and Burzum.
Yes, of course.
The black
Okay.
metal.
The Lords of Chaos book that was out a bunch of years
couple-
ago.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a
Black metal mob
feature film on that.
They were like saying we started that. I was like, no, Celtic Frost started that. The one guy's name Hellhammer. Come on, bro. It's like, but it doesn't matter. It was all about the killing. It was just some metal stuff.
So everybody check it out and then drop
but
us
the
an
movie,
email.
See the movie. The movie is a great movie, but it will bother you in some places. It make you laugh some places, but it bothered me.
Some
I
things
don't know
about
if
it's
I'm getting
off.
older. If I'm getting older or something like that, but it was a good movie.
Mina, what about you? What have you been listening to?
Listening or watching?
Anything.
Well,
Just check it out.
Well, to stay on the movie subject, one of my favorite, two of my favorite directors just put out 2 new films.
Awesome. What are
One
those?
of them is called Climax by Gaspar, who's a French director.
All right.
Made fucked up films like Irreversible.
Yeah. Our Irreversible is fucked up.
Wait,
That's a
wait
fucked
till
up-
you see the new one, Climax. The
I
new
just
one,
wrote it down.
Climax. It's fucking unbelievable. It's about this dance squad.
French people.
French, about this dance squad. Great, first of all, the angles, the cinematography
he's amazing.
is
That dude's-
untouchable. And his plots and his dialogue are really just the furthest thing from Hollywood, you know. But it's about this dance squad all dancing. They're at a party, blah, 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 blah. In short, someone spikes the fucking punch bowl with LSD.
Oh, no shit.
So just imagine Gaspar Noah going berserk.
I think me and Isaac have been to that party.
That's me every weekend.
You weren't there.
Every weekend.
You weren't there. But seriously, it's like, it's off the chain. It's like,
That's awesome.
It's psychologically twisting. Like, I'll just give you
I have
little.
to check that out.
The kid wounds up drinking the fruit punch.
Yeah.
They locked the kid up, and the mother had to lock the kid up in the closet. It was just no. It's yeah.
It's so he's gonna make
not-
it. Michael's
it's
gonna
not-
make a joke.
And Michael saw the next film by Lars von Trier, who done Antichrist,
Oh, Antichrist is.
Which was
Shout out to
really-
TK, my friend TK.
really fucked up.
The house that Jack
the house
built
that Jack built.
with Matt
Oh,
Dillon.
that's.
Oh yeah.
Totally demented.
Yeah.
Serial killer. It's his most garish, would you say?
It's just so psychologically twisted. Like I can't watch horror for the next 6 months.
Right.
Real?
It's like horror
Like,
done psychologically
realistic.
correct.
Yeah, like the- yeah.
realistic horror.
Which
Yeah.
that
Oh,
fucks
totally.
you up even
not
more.
not
yeah.
Fangoria horror.
No, really, like.
But the psychological shit that, like, you know, you're not afraid of the dark, but tonight you are.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
like-
you're driving with somebody, and all of a sudden the driver looks over at the passenger and takes a fire extinguisher and just bashes them in the face.
Damn, Michael.
I'm just telling you. About,
Well, on that,
telling you about the movie.
on that note, Michael, what have you been watching or listening to?
Well, Michael just
Jack built.
actually
Hey, make sure there's a fire extinguisher.
told me about the house that Jack built, and I was just like cursing him, like, I can't believe you motherfucker made me watch this. I cannot like pick up horror.
But he's one of your favorite directors.
He is,
Right.
but so and now he's even more of a favorite because I had to turn it off the first time I watched it. But then he told me he finished it, and I was like, all right, if Alago finished it, I gotta finish it. So I finished it. And as far as listening to music, honestly, I've been obsessed with Bowie for the past month. Even though I've been listening to Bowie my whole life,
right.
but you go through phases
Right.
of people, and I've been going through like a series.
Like just reconnecting with
Bowie,
it and-
like I can't stop listening to "This Is America" from Bowie.
Oh, This Is Not America.
This is not America,
Yeah,
and just like
Well, even that movie that it's the soundtrack for, The
Yeah.
Falcon and the Snowman,
Yeah.
with Sean Penn and Timothy Hutton.
Yeah.
Extraordinary movie.
How about like Tin Man?
Tin Man,
Remember the
You mean
Bowie did
the Tin Machine.
The Tin Machine.
Oh, Tin
Yeah, the
Machine,
Tin
right,
Machine.
right,
You know
right.
what was
Yeah.
wild? They did the Cat Club one
Yeah,
night.
yeah,
Yeah,
they were
Tin
big.
Machine.
Wow.
I,
But Mina told me, I've been going to see David Bowie since 1974, the Diamond Dogs tour.
Yeah.
But recently, Mina turned me on to a record by him called Heathen. I knew nothing
My
about
favorite-
it.
My favorite
year?
one.
What year is that?
2002, I think. Yeah.
Shortly after 9/11.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And it's like a precursor to his last two albums,
Yeah.
Black Star and The Next Day.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
I love those two
And
records.
don't forget Reality.
I see. I don't know
there
that
was
either.
Heathen. There was Heathen, then Reality, then A New Day, and then Black Star, and then the way Bowie does shit with finesse and elegance.
Yup.
He even planned his death, unless
Yeah.
he really didn't die and they sent him to a different district on planet Earth, and he's just kind of like
Or alternate timeline, which I also
exactly
think maybe.
Well, no, I mean, what is reality?
Right.
There's
You're
a big
right.
question.
So
I mean,
2 years ago when he...
Oh,
go ahead.
no,
honey.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, baby.
Okay, great. So 2 years ago when he passed away on January 8th, his producer Tony Visconti played with his band at the Highline, and they did all Bowie material. So that night he said, "Do y'all want to say happy birthday to David?" So of course everybody in the audience is losing their mind, and he picks up his iPhone and he. Says, David's on the phone, so everybody says happy birthday, and then the concert continues, and then that Sunday, I believe, the January 10th, is when David passed away.
Oh man!
So that morning, I was taking a shower, and all of a sudden, I hear like a noise in my apartment. Like, fuck! I didn't leave my door open or anything. The TV's not on, and that happy birthday showed up on my computer.
No shit.
Now,
Wow.
I don't know how, because it wasn't a tape. we did that live.
Yeah.
Tony did that
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
So I hear all this noise. I wrap a towel around myself, and I go to my computer, and it's the happy birthday from Friday. So I said, well, maybe it's on Tony's Facebook page.
Yeah,
or one
pop-
Like something auto.
nowhere to be found.
That's crazy.
And so I just listened to it. dried myself off, came back. It was nowhere to be found on the computer. So that day, I was wandering around the city, and I went by his house at 285 Lafayette. And the energy in the air felt like I'm still here.
I believe it.
I'm not leaving yet. I may not physically be here, but my presence is here. And I felt that for a very, very long time. And, the way Mina loves David Bowie, I love David Bowie.
Yes.
And, his record that he made right before his next to last album, The Next Day, for me is a classic rock
awesome.
album. And there's a song on there called The Stars Are Out Tonight. Oof. Classic David Bowie.
I'm getting the chills.
Yeah.
I am. I'm
it's like
my
one of
nipples
those-
just
it's-
got so hard.
Yeah. Of course they
Can I
did.
flash?
It's the radio,
'Cause
but
it's real nice.
please, yes, you can.
I don't want beef with these girls. She'll beat the shit out of me. No,
loves
no.
you. She
I
loves
love her
you.
too. I know. She's so beautiful.
Anyway, we love David Bowie.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
So we're really excited to have you guys here. So again, thank you so much. So Danny, why don't you go ahead and kick it off with our guest?
I'm gonna say what I've been listening to is like you guys probably make fun of me, but I've been listening to a lot of 30 Seconds to Mars. The first record.
That record is
I
so
don't even
good,
know
though.
that record, really. But don't know it.
It's
Beautiful Lie is that record.
Yeah.
right?
Why make fun? There's
it's
so much great art in all these different genres.
I agree.
Like, listen, I can listen to fucking
It's Jared Leto.
Yes.
Jared Leto. Yeah.
And he kills it.
The record. That record is really good because I felt like it's a little more rock, where the new stuff is a little more almost too produced. You know what I'm saying? A little more pop.
He takes a lot of U2, Bono's style, and Bono's U2 sound.
Yep.
The Edge.
He steals a lot. He steals a lot of the Edge. I'm a fan of him in movies and actor, and also his singing to me is like a lot of
he's got
Bjork, a lot of Bjork, a lot of Cure.
Yep.
Also.
Interesting.
And I love Bjork, I love Cure, I
Interesting,
love
yeah,
you
The
too.
Cure,
So,
fuck yeah.
He's got a great
Great,
vocal
great.
too. He's like I've seen them
He
a
can
bunch
sing,
of
he can
times
sing.
live. I mean, he can really sing. So.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a significant talent. I mean, he's worked on his skills his whole life, so
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
whatever he does. I mean,
Last week, I'll make you guys laugh, but
So yeah, do you want to? All right. So
Oh my
Barry,
God.
after episode 4 here. If anyone keeps up with Danny on Instagram, you'll
do.
know that some. Oh, you don't. So then
I
you,
do.
Okay.
I
So then,
do.
do you want me to tell, or you want to?
Well, you can't set us up like
I
this
know,
and
I
not
always
tell
want
the
to
fucking
story.
say it.
What's
So
going
after
on here?
episode 4, Danny had a little bit of an incident leaving this place and got.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
got
cut
stabbed.
He got stabbed.
okay, though.
What?
I just didn't know if he wanted to go for the
No,
climactic part.
I
That's
don't
all.
want to take like my girl's gonna kill me, but yeah. So
No,
But let's address
I
it
read
because
that.
fans were asking and people were curious. So I do
people
want
just a whole bunch of stories. Just I want to tell you straight
No,
up.
like a true fucking New Yorker, he stepped in
I
and did
did.
something.
I did.
Hello.
People are mad at me. Some people are happy, but some people, like my poor girl, like I put it through hell.
Wait, did I hear about this on the news?
No.
Oh, okay.
I hope not. Michael, God. I was say somewhere in Lower East Side. And I went from I did a podcast. I went to a studio. Got off at 3 o'clock. Went to Lower East Side.
PM or AM?
AM. So I had to pick up my boy and basically I saw some dude smacking up his girl. But this is the saddest thing I've seen in my life. So I'm standing there. I'm gonna tell you something straight up. He's like, people get mad, and I feel that I got my friend really got hurt bad, but like really bad, broke his eye socket, whatever.
Oh, no.
So, but he wasn't even involved. I mean, he was like on the phone. But the thing is, when I saw the thing happen, one guy there was one girl, 3 guys. One guy just went in the car like he does this all the time. The other guy was like standing around, and people were like, you gotta stop this, you gotta stop that. The first thing, it's crazy in my life. My life is this. I was like, I could not walk away from it. I don't know why, but it's like my father was a cop for years. He always told me never get involved with domestic disputes because they'll both turn on you. But I knew in my mind, if I say something,
that you had to do. Yeah,
I had to do it.
Yeah,
but even I knew that this girl's gonna go back, but she's so in such a rut mentally that she went still with the guy. But if I could just stop it for one night, she's like, no, man, it would have killed me if I didn't say nothing. The next morning, I found that the girl died or something. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But so I was like, yo, he smacked. I said, yo, that's a female, bro. He's like, what? They start talking shit. I was like, yo, bro, that's a girl. I'm just telling you. And none of these guys tell me. But all of a sudden, he's like, you pussy. And I was like, yo. And then it started whatever. we started fighting. Basically, I fucked him up, fucked him whatever. But he came back with a knife, and everyone saw him. Everything start stabbing, one, two,
crazy.
2 times. But it's like it was bad. You know, so like
I saw the wound.
yeah, but yeah, whatever. We fucked him up. But the thing is, I knew it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I would do it again.
Yeah.
And my poor girl, I put it through hell. And I was like, and I could have got killed, but the thing is, like, that's who I am.
The fact that you're standing up for the divine feminine, even when this poor woman, you're right, she's probably such in a demented, cyclical bullshit with this guy abusing her. She knows no better. She's probably scared for her life. Your dad is somewhat kind of right in a way, but ultimately, Isaac's got to make his own fucking decisions. And the fact that, you know, you put your physical vessel on the line for the divine feminine is fucking noteworthy and praiseworthy. But you know what? I get it. I know in this time it's like you've had enough of this shit, the physical violence, the years, the bullshit, the drugs, just the garbage, the negativity, the pessimism. But it's like sometimes, man, you gotta fucking put a hammer in someone's head to like. I'm sorry, like I don't advocate violence at all, but the fact that everyone is fucking rubbernecking and soulless and just could
filming.
Just like, waiting to put something on the internet.
Let's beat up this. Let's film this woman.
So I can get the views or likes. Yeah, it's so stupid.
You know, listen, I know like. You're torn about probably the decision, but you know what? Your intuition guides you.
I had to do it.
You had to do it.
Yeah, that's all.
You're safe.
I'll do it again.
You're safe. You're telling the story. And you know what? You'll be protected. You're divinely protected because honestly, Isaac, if something was going to go down with you, it would have already went down 25 years ago. Sorry. You're going to be here till 115. You're going to outlive all the motherfuckers. And you know what? You stood up for the divine feminine. Something every institution in our world, in our global consumerist market does not stand up to divine femininity. Whether you're a genetic woman, whether you're transsexual, whether you're this, whether you're just different than the binary, you know, male chauvinistic way of being or whatever, like the institutions aren't set up to protect the rights of humanity and the rights of very feminine humans, whether they were born women or not or whatever. The divine feminine isn't respected on our planet. But all this shit that's going down and all this stuff that's being disclosed from governmental, from deep state, from the pharmaceutical world, the food world, all this shit is getting disclosed. Now, it's always been there. They've always been taking advantage, but now all this shit is coming out. Thank God for the internet. You know, the internet, there's some bad things, but some good stuff, like all this stuff is getting disclosed. All these rotten people that are in the elite corporations and all the shit that we don't like to see. Food, kids dying of cancer, and people like Isaac not standing around and being like, oh, let me take a picture and film this so my profile can get the hits and the retweets and blah, blah. Rather than sticking up for this poor woman's fucking life.
Right.
You put your life on the line. You know what, man? You should be proud of yourself. And you know what? I know you don't like to advocate for violence now, and you haven't been like that, but you were there for a divine reaon.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe she left him. Maybe not.
Or maybe she went home with all three of them.
Right.
But I had a good time. I don't know.
Who knows?
Let's hope.
My thing was like this. I walked there, and listen, I'm from our scene, and the ways I grew up, Jackson Heights, Queens. I grew up. I'm Puerto Rican and Jewish, Polish Jew. I grew up all different walks of life. You understand? Right. My family's mixed. Everyone's there. Like always, people like I'm Puerto Rican. Like uncles. Everyone's different music. Everyone different the sexuality. Yeah. So my thing is like
you got the Roy G. Biff in the family.
So my thing, I can be a macho asshole. The first time I saw it, they were fighting some girls like. Someone has to stop that, but her boyfriend said, I was like, first thing I did, I was like, what does this bitch do? See, this nigga's going crazy. I was going to punch her, I was like, all right, I got to stop this shit, because it got so fucking. It was just like it was a dude hitting.
That's horrible, man.
And I was like, yo, the two guys with him didn't even try to stop it. That's what I'm saying. Like at least someone said, you know, he's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Tell the listeners how you guys all connect. Go back and tell the stories about how you know each other, because I think that's always good. People love hearing
Well,
it.
like I was saying before in the beginning of the show, like, you know, Isaac has done a million things. You know, I think Life of Agony always were kind of like the oddballs in our scene, obviously because of me, and I wasn't your masculine. I was always like kind of trying to do something different with the singing. That, you know, we got a lot of shit for being just kind of like not being like everyone else.
And you look at it now, and it's so many bands have replicated like what you got, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Oh my God. You can sing.
But aside from the bands and the music, I think always being growing up in the Lower East Side, growing up with the music shops, with the record shops, always seeing Isaac, you know, remember with Sob and Minus and all them cats from way back. The what were they? The twins, the
Hector, Edwin.
From even back then, you know, I used to see
Skins.
Isaac and I don't know why, like Saab, Minus, Isaac, they all gravitated towards my energy and always put me under their wing, whether, you know, we'll protect you no matter what. So, like, I think that's how, like, kind of Life of Agony kind of, like, stayed in the whole, when all these different kind of bands were doing all these different things, like Quicksand, and from Quicksand to this band, to that band, to the Cro-Mags, to the Band Breads, to Ice Pick, to this one, to all the 20 different bands that you've been in, and the Life of Agony, and you know, we're New York is a small town. There's millions of people here, but it can get so isolated and so lonely at points that you can, you know, it's like, how do I say it? It's there's so many people and doing so many different things, but for some reason, call it divinity or whatever, the gods have always kept us all in this kind of circle. All these Biohazard.
I think for what year? I don't know. I'm just trying to try to say something that maybe that you like. I know something that why I always listen to your music is your lyrics, and when the River Runs Red came out, what year was that?
Probably 1991 or 2 or 3 or something like that.
So all I know, this might be weird to you, whatever, but when that album came out, I listened to that album a lot when my brother killed himself, and he liked that album, and just the lyrics, the suicide, and you know what I mean, like you get the thing of your parents and all this stuff like that. Life that's hard on kids our age at that time.
Yeah.
That's why I always loved your lyrics.
Thank you.
And it hit me in a way that couldn't, like other hardcore bands. Well, I understand that. Yeah. You want back to back, we're gonna fight. Whatever. But you were saying some shit that really moved me.
Well, I think when people tell the truth and they're honest, you know, that's what you felt. You felt the truth. You felt the honesty. You felt like what was going on in this artist's mind at the time. Yeah. So you related that because it related to your life in certain ways as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Anytime, dear.
And then how do you and Michael?
Ever since the music's TBGBs, I used to see Michael all the time, and
I don't really know exactly when we met.
Yeah. But like later on, in Crown Thorns, I remember.
Oh yes, of course. Okay. No. Sometimes you have to just say things and it clicks, or else I could be sitting here quiet for the whole hour because I don't remember a damn thing.
Or maybe the million hardcore festivals you're creeping at, taking photos of all the guys. I mean,
yes. And the problem is no problem. There is no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, so,
you were probably creeping on Isaac. That's my point.
But
yes, I'm sure I was.
And I was thank you so much.
Anytime.
I'm here. I need more.
So do I.
So I would see him, and then I remember the first time someone told me, like, "Hey, that's the guy who signed Metallica." I was like, I was like, oh my, the guy's the nicest guy in the world. He's like so humble. Like a sweet. Then people told me like, explain people where you're from first of all.
Yeah.
Well, I grew
Michael.
up in Brooklyn.
What's your nationality?
We'll represent
Pardon?
Brooklyn.
Puerto
Isaac.
Rican.
Puerto Rican.
That's right.
That's right. Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right. Grew up in Brooklyn. All different parts of Brooklyn.
All right. So what bands have you worked with?
Oh well,
Actually,
You
more
edit-
so,
you edit this, right?
How about this? More so than what bands have you worked with? Let's talk a little bit more about the journey. About like how did you get into like,
Yeah.
sort of like most people we were talking earlier just with the movie, right?
Sure.
Most people gravitate towards being in a band or something.
Yeah.
How did you find that path for maybe say like our listeners now? And obviously digital music is
Right.
different than crate
Well-
digging and stuff, but. How did you connect with something like that to say, this is my journey, I'm going to be that kind of person to help connect the dots behind the scenes?
Sure. As a young boy in Brooklyn, I always just knew I loved music. I tell this story a lot. I listened to AM radio, 77 WABC. And back in the day, radio was not formatted like it is now. Radio is, I don't even listen to radio anymore. It's top 40. Everything's auto-tuned. It all sounds the same. But if I was listening to 77 WABC back in the day, I was also buying 7-inch records. So they were playing everything from The Boys Are Back in Town, Thin Lizzy, to Aretha Franklin, Respect, to Grand Funk's Closer to Home, to Archie Bell and the Drills, Tighten Up, to Rare Earths, I Just Want to Celebrate.
That's
so
awesome.
all of that music that I was hearing on the radio and buying those 7-inches
Just taking it all.
informed my listening. And my listening was never one thing. So, and never mind that I lived under Utrecht Avenue on 55th Street, and 6 blocks away was Lemoore.
Yeah.
So,
Which is,
I mean,
we're going to talk about Lamar.
incredible. So,
Good old
I guess
Lamar.
maybe more like as a 15, 16-year-old, I was going to see my dad in the city a lot because he worked in the East Village on Astor Place, and I picked up not Rolling Stone, sorry, The Village Voice. The Village Voice came out every Wednesday. It had everything from porn theaters, loved it, to music, art, and theater.
I wish I was older for that time. The porn theater time, I would have
Listen,
definitely
I lived in those
I would have
triple X.
check it out.
Just,
Right, no, I
just
know.
to get
Yeah.
fucked once.
A
Oh
flavor.
yeah, I got fucked in a cinema. Okay, sorry, Michael.
No, it's okay. So, I would buy The Village Voice, and that kind of also it took my listening and now going to see artists to a different level, because I would see this full-page ad for CBGB. And, everybody from The Dead Boys, Cherry Vanilla, The Damned, Eddie and the Hot Rods, Patti Smith, The Ramones, Blondie, were playing there. And that became like my living room as a teenager. And, Hilly, Crystal, the owner, let us young people in there.
Yeah.
But his thing was, if I see you drinking, you're out.
Right.
So, of course, we used to hide the beer in the back of the alleyway,
Yeah.
and we would all sneak out, open the door a little, drink, throw
Go
the beer
back in.
and come back in. We'd be buzzed.
Yeah.
So that's where all of that started for me. And one day, yes. Go
Oh, I was
ahead.
just gonna say, like,
please.
so going to those shows, what was your first exposure to sort of finding a band or a project you felt passionate about that you were like, I'm going to invest a little more time and energy, especially like in those days when it was harder to kind of be discovered and do things.
Oh, so wait, are you asking me this prior to me working in the music business?
Yeah, just
what did I love?
Yeah, like what basically like what kicked off your first project as far as being like, I love that band enough to go and invest my time into helping grow this into more,
So you're asking me like when I started at Elektra?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we're fast forwarding.
Or
now.
just I guess just in general, if it fast forwards to Elektra, that's cool. I guess I'm always trying to fill in gaps.
Sure.
For
Okay.
the
Well, you know
journey
what?
there,
Okay.
like,
The journey. I'm 15 years old. I see the Dead Boys. I lose my mind. I always talk about this.
Oh, the one
like
with the ham on the shirt.
Yeah, Stiv Bators was like the bastard stepchild of Iggy Pop.
Yup.
The live onstage antics of him hanging himself, or having bologna stuck to his shirt
that's
and blowing his nose in it and then swallowing it. I
Yeah.
just thought, I love Stiv Bators. He's the
Yeah.
greatest.
Fuck.
And so I decided I was going to run a fan club for them. 14 years old, and so me and my friend Jody, we decided we were going to put a fanzine together for
That's
them.
awesome.
And we were kids. We didn't know about the business angle of it. We would just wanted to hang
Just
out
wanted
with the
to do it.
bands.
Yeah.
So we made one zine called All This and More, based on one of their songs from the first album, and then we just stayed friends with them the whole time.
That's
But
so
I
awesome.
guess if you want to talk about investment, that was like my first band that I thought,
Yup.
I love these people. And you know what? 40 years later, I'm still going to see them.
That's amazing.
Now, unfortunately, Steve Baders is not here anymore. He died, I believe, in Paris in either 90 or 94. But they have a new singer. And, people give artists like the Dead Boys and Queen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? Freddie Mercury died.
Yep.
He was the greatest.
Yeah.
The greatest.
And they
but
got-
what was Brian May supposed to do? Sit in his living room with those fabulous songs? No, you find a new singer.
I back them going out with Adam. I mean, I've actually gone and seen it live. I thought it was great.
fucking love
and,
Adam
I love
is
Adam Lambert.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's flamboyant, has an immaculate voice, and you know what? He's doing it with them.
And I think too, for people like who never got to see him, why deprive us if everybody else is
You're
still
getting
around
a
and
chance
everybody's in there?
now.
Like
Exactly.
Why not?
Like the same thing with the Dead Boys.
I have a
Still
funny
passed
question.
25 years ago. So what? They found this guy Jake, and Jake is marvelous. He's crazy. He has a great voice. He's charismatic on stage. And some of those songs, not even some, all those Dead Boys songs are fantastic. They don't. You don't tire of listening to them. So I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent about them, but because I love the Dead Boys, I love Queen.
I love
and it's
that, 'cause
also
that's-
like bands don't die because their lead singer
Yeah, like for example,
passes away.
perfect example. Absolutely loved my entire life the Stone Temple Pilots. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I know you do too.
Yeah, I love them.
I know when Scott died, I saw you post about Core and how
Yeah.
that moved you as
Yep.
well. They have Jeff Goot now.
Oh, I don't even
Like-
know Jeff.
He is fucking unbelievable.
He kills it. He kills
I
it.
haven't gotten a chance to
First
check out
of all,
that
the
one
new
yet.
record that Jeff Goot did with the guys.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I will. One of my favorite Stone Temple
No, I
albums.
want to. I've heard it's good.
Like, I love Purple. I love Songs from the Vatican Gift Shop, because that was when Scott was just, like, off the rails. His voice, he was doing that Harry Nilsson thing.
Yup.
That, when they were, him and Lennon, when they did Pussyfoot. Pussycats, and they were literally screaming till they just were bleeding from the throat. I think Harry Nilsson had to get some kind of vocal surgery or some shit after that record. But anyway, Jeff Goot, I'm sorry, but like this guy is like singing like Scott's. If Scott had a best night, that's Jeff Goot every night,
Really?
live.
Wow.
Like, I fucking love him. Like, and like I was, and I'm very open. I'm not like, if the singer passes away, I'm not all about like,
Right.
It's like there's 3 or 4 other guys in the band that
that can
the
still do
DeLeo
it right.
brothers, Kretz, they've been making incredible rock and roll for fucking decades.
Yup.
Scott was a major part of that, yes, but same thing with Queen, man. Adam Lambert is fucking amazing vocalist. He's got the charisma. He's got Freddie's energy. He's paying homage to Freddie. Usually
lot
the
of
people,
respect there.
a lot of
I agree.
people that don't understand
Yeah.
what it takes to be in that energetic
Well,
thing,
then
they're
they're
the
not
idiots.
open to the possibility.
They're the
Right.
idiots, but those are the people
I
that
love doing the most
constantly
talking. Right.
talk.
And you know what? At the end of the
Exactly.
day, they're not buying the tickets anyways.
Exactly.
So it's like they're just sit
So
on
shut
online
the fuck
and
up, and
As a musician, also, like the guys, like say the guys that are in the band, what are they supposed to do? Sit there
Yeah.
and like
Not
they got
at
more,
all.
they got mortgages, they got kids,
got stuff they gotta do.
They got lives. I mean, they got to pay
But
bills.
that's what they do. They are musicians.
Yeah, musicians.
And so
Yeah.
your life goes on. But, also, if you're asking me when I first got interested in bands, certain bands, when I started at Elektra, because that was the first record company that I
So
worked
prior
at.
to Elektra, had you done anything independently on your own, like releasing?
Sure. No, I didn't release anything. When I was 19, I was walking by a building on East 11th Street. It was called Casa Galicia. It was a Spanish dance hall. I saw that there was a sign there that said Video Club opening. So I walked in, I looked around, and this guy, Jerry Brandt, was in the balcony, and he said, "Kid, what do you want? We ain't even open yet." And I was like, I want a job, man. And he said, "Do you have a resume?" I had no idea what a resume was. I said, "No, I go to the School of Visual Arts, and I work in a pharmacy." He was taken by that.
and that was fucking history.
And that was,
Amazing.
19 years old. I became the assistant director of music
That's
at
amazing.
Booking the Ritz.
And you know
from
what the-
80 to 83.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That
The,
is
the
so amazing.
sickest thing too is like all these kids, millions upon millions on the planet, have no idea that this man put Metallica on the fucking map.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Hang
think
on, you
it's
got a
so.
booger.
That's why I think it's so cool that people like Drew are taking the time to expose stories about Michael, because there's so many unspoken heroes behind the scenes that make these things happen.
Michael's done records for
and
Metallica.
That's why I love that. I was so excited to have you on
Cyndi
here and talk
Lauper.
about that kind of stuff. It's amazing.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But he's done records with Cyndi Lauper.
I love Cyndi Lauper.
Nina fucking Simone.
Yeah,
really?
yes.
So let's talk
Doesn't
about
get
that.
better than her.
So from there, does that get you to Elektra?
Yes, I worked for 3 years. The first 3 years that the Ritz was open, booked tons of bands, everybody from the Misfits and Black Flag.
What was your favorite show you booked there, if you had to
Oh my
pick one?
God! Well, one of my favorite shows ever was the return of Tina Turner. She did 5 nights there and
love
just
Tina.
killed it.
What was it
You know,
like?
Bowie came, Keith Richards came, everybody came because they were like,
What
we
was
gotta
it like
see
seeing
this.
Tina Turner at that moment, like at her
beautiful,
height?
extraordinary. You know, she was just putting out a new record with What's Love Got to Do with It.
that's like the-
But, you know, she did everything. She
Love
did
her.
Proud Mary. She did all the Icon Tina Turner songs, River Deep, Mountain High.
That's awesome.
And, you know, she's also one of those people who's one of a kind.
Oh, right.
Ain't-
She's
there's
a real talent.
There's
Yeah,
nobody
yeah,
like
there's-
her.
yeah.
You know,
That's why I asked,
So,
yeah.
well, you know, we booked Prince there.
amazing.
Like I said, the Misfits, Black Flag, U2.
amazing.
Sex Pistols?
Nope.
Oh.
The Sex Pistols were over by 1980.
Okay.
Ramones?
The Ramones played there, yeah, but they played after I left. I think they played there in '86. Anyway, so I did my first 3 years there. You know, for me, that put me in the music business. I knew there was more out there for me. So I was going out with this guy Mitchell Krasnow, and he said my dad's going to go to leaving Warner Brothers, and he's going to Elektra to re-up Elektra because the previous management put it in the shitter. So I said to Jerry, you know what? I think I want to move on.
That's awesome.
Jerry didn't want me to leave. He said, but I know Bob Krasnow, so I'm going to call him for you.
Whoa.
And then Mitchell told his dad about me. And I had that same experience with Bob that I had with Jerry. Bob met me, and he loved that I knew about everything from the Great American Songbook to hard rock, heavy metal, and top 40.
Yeah, which is amazing.
And so he said, great meeting with you, and I'll give you a call. In 2 weeks, he gave me a call, and he said, I'm hiring you to do A&R for Elektra Records. I hung up the
That's
phone,
amazing.
That's
and I
cool.
said, I have no idea what an A&R is.
A&R, what's A&R?
And what was the first? So what was
Okay.
was the Metallica the first?
No, so yeah. Let's see. I'm glad you're editing this.
I might not. So,
So
who knows?
it's okay. It's all good. So A&R is artist and repertoire. It's the most important department at a record
I
label.
agree.
Because if you don't make great records,
Yeah.
there is no label.
I
And
agree.
if you don't make great records that sell, they fire you. So I signed a little band that were friends of mine called Shrapnel. They were from Red Bank, New Jersey. Phil Cavano was in that band.
Phil
Phil.
Cavano,
Yes.
Shout out to Phil.
Phil.
And Dave Windorf, both in Monster
Monster
Magnet.
Magnet.
Yep. My dear friend
Those guys
Daniel
are good.
Ray, who I know for 38 years.
Daniel Ray.
And they were in that band. We made a little EP with Richie Cordell and Vince Ely from the Psychedelic Furs. It was a 5-song EP. It did well in the college circuit. It didn't sell, and nobody was really into it at Elektra. And so, long story short, because I tell this story all the time as well, whether it's in the movie or in my book that's coming out at the end of the year, it was a confluence of things that happened in 1983. I got this little demo cassette of Metallica's demo. Metallica's demo.
The cassette?
And, it was a cassette. Honey, a cassette is so old, I forgot what it's called.
I saw cassette going across his head.
Thank you for finishing.
I know him like a book.
Thank you for finishing my
You're
sentence.
welcome.
You know, and I became friends. You know, Johnny Z and his wife Marsha called
Yeah.
me from Megaforce.
Megaforce
And-
Records.
Yes,
Megaforce
very
is sick.
important.
Very important metal
important.
scene, Megaforce Records.
And, you know, they had a little independent label. I think the first 3 or 4 records that they put out was Anthrax, Raven,
Yep.
and Metallica.
Yes.
John came to my office
amazing.
one day, and he wanted me to do. He wanted me to sign Raven, and I said, "Well, you know, I don't know if I want to sign them right now, but I'll give you $5,000 and come back with 5 songs." He came back with 5 songs. The demo tape was terrific, but the problem was I heard Kill 'Em All. And Phil and I in '82 had seen Metallica at Lemoore.
Yeah.
In '83, when I got that record and I heard the demo cassette, I went to the Stone in San Francisco to see them. I gave Lars my business card, and I kind of like forgot about it not them, but just I was starting my job. I was super busy, and then months later, Lars called and said, we're coming to play Roseland as part of a Megaforce triple act bill with Raven and Anthrax. And by this time, because of the underground metal scene, people talking about that cassette and Kill 'Em All. That was the band people wanted to see at Roseland. And that night, they just blew the roof off the fucking place.
That's amazing.
And, it's now summer of 1984. And that's when I signed them.
That's just so cool.
I went backstage.
It's amazing.
I locked the door in the... Help me.
Green
Your
room?
office?
I was going to say locker room.
The green room?
Your office?
No.
The locker room.
Michael, you're on your mind.
Please. We're backstage.
Backstage.
The dressing room door?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. This is why I don't drink or crack anymore, because I have no brain left.
Please, it's like...
So I'm backstage.
I'm half his
and
vocabulary.
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
So I'm just back there, and the guys are looking at me because I'm hugging and kissing everybody, and they're like, I'm kissing Metallica. And they're like, okay, who is this guy? And Lars said, James, Kirk, Cliff, this is Michael Alago from Elektra. And they were thrilled that I didn't look like an executive.
Yeah.
I looked like them. Yep. They might have been 21, 22. I was 23. The next day they came to my office. They were in the conference room. I got beer and Chinese food. I tell this story all the time as well. And it felt like they never left.
That's what
amazing.
you bought them?
That's amazing.
That's all I bought them.
Cheap fucking day. Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Lemoore scene, too, a little bit. Mina, what was it like being, for you, coming into something like that? Because that was such an active scene, and I know a lot of our listeners
It's a rough scene.
But a lot of our listeners love that era
Rough scene.
and love hearing about that. So I would love if we could just talk a little bit about Lemoore's.
Lemoore's in the 80s was a rough scene. It was like the Brooklyn Bikers, the tattoo studio next,
Forget it, man. People
Checo.
in those days, the kids of today would not fucking survive.
No.
In those days, people were getting beat downs for long hair.
Yeah.
Like, it was a completely different, irate world. Yeah. I don't...
Do you remember getting, like, your first show there and stuff? Or, like, do you remember the experience of feeling like playing that and being...
Well,
like,
the first Life of Agony show ever, I believe, was in 1988 or 1989 in New Jersey at a place called, a pool room called, it was in Keensburg, New Jersey.
Did you have a podium?
No, we had a ping pong
Do you
table.
remember the podium? Did you have the podium?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't have. Oh, did I? So many. I don't even remember.
You had the podium, little podium.
Yeah, I did when we decided to like incorporate synthesizers and stuff in our set for live shit, but I kind of didn't like that because I like to be really. I like to lick the sweat off of old guys' heads. You know what I mean? Like, I prefer it. I prefer a tiny venue over a 50,000 fucking cap festival because it's like the intensity, the sweat, the crying, the emotion. It's all there in the clubs and stuff.
So we were just talking about playing Lemoore's, actually, that just getting into that.
To be honest,
whole scene.
we did so many Sunday matinees at Lemoore at first because that's when I guess Ken Creedy or the Parentes they shoved us on.
Shout out to Bay Ridge
all
Talent.
the hardcore bills, the hardcore Sunday matinees, and that's how we got lumped into
Negative Night.
Yeah, Negative Night too.
Remember that?
Yeah,
the type of negative, Carnivore, you guys, Biohazard. It was always a crippled. What's the kid with the crutches? We sang. Remember
the Undead?
Confusion.
Yeah.
The Michael. From
Michael.
Confusion?
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
All those bands.
It was different. It was kind of wild. It was like everyone was feral. Everyone was like a feral wild animal.
Mr. Pickle.
Mr. Pickle. Oh my God.
Who's Mr. Pickle?
With what's his name?
The Asian kid, right?
Not with the mucky pup.
No, but
Mr. Pickle.
Was the Asian kid? Remember? No, it was like weird.
Not Mike.
No,
Mike, right? Okay.
I have no idea what they're talking
I'm
about.
not sure.
I must have been drunk every
Nobody's
night there.
perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Junior.
Wow, what happened to Junior?
He got a real job and
he's living real life now, right?
Midwest.
You mean he's not doing this?
Right. Back getting stabbed on the weekends.
Right. He's got a real life. He doesn't got this. No, but it was crazy. A lot of crazy bands, you know.
And just a different scene, right? I mean, because it was really active, like that whole era. I know, especially just from kids my age, like we look at that sort of Roadrunner Records era as just like it's so iconic
fantastic.
and like
Absolutely.
Man, I mean, like
every weekend was different. It was like one weekend.
Cro-Mags.
Was playing.
Wendy O. Williams.
The next weekend,
Please.
The next weekend, Soundgarden was playing
absolutely.
at Lemoore.
Awesome.
Yes.
The next weekend,
Wasp.
Oh, I love
Wasp.
Or
Loved
Rexodus.
Wasp.
Yeah.
They had so many weird.
The next
Be
weekend,
somebody.
Danny's playing in 20 of his fucking bands. That was the bill. Just Danny in Ice Pick, Crown of Thorns, this, that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That's amazing. So, Mina, from going from the Life of Agony demo, what was the journey from, say, the demo to the Roadrunner experience? Because, again, that was a time that I know a lot of people just... Roadrunner is looked at that era as so classic. You know, those videos, those bands, it's...
Actually, Roadrunner was late to the game. Actually, Roadrunner didn't even want to sign us.
Really?
Monty,
I remember.
Monty hated my voice.
Why?
Said I was... you know, at the time, he sounds too much like Danzig. And everyone was
not
like,
at all.
are you out of your mind? Like, and even if
It was,
he
who
did at
cares?
the time, like, but that was Monty's contribution to stuff like that. Like, you know, no one listened to Monty anyway, but we got signed anyway. So, thank you, Monty.
Was Roadrunner, like, did you get the demo to them first, or did they come to you guys, or was it like... Because obviously you're playing a lot of shows at this point.
What happened was that we were already selling out Lemoire's before any label
That's awesome.
was involved. So any label that wanted to get involved with a band that was just a word of mouth that was selling 2-3 nights out at Lemoire every 3 to 6,
That's
8
amazing.
months or whatever. So whatever label got involved was already like kind of like getting a nice ripe fruit in a sense.
Because you guys have already developed yourselves so much. It
Yeah,
was,
like the
ready-
label
yeah.
was just kind of stepping into a gold mine in a
Yep.
sense. Plus, I think at the time, Ken Creedy, who was managing Typo Negative, managed Life of Agony
Right.
as well. So that was kind of like our in. And then there was like this agreements where we were Typo and Life of Agony. We were all friends.
Oh, you had the same
at
same
the
people
time.
at the same rec-
Yeah, so like we used Sal as a hired drummer.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Josh produced the record.
Yes.
We had Jew Power with Alan in the band, and
Yeah,
then Josh
Josh.
totally wanted to produce it. And it was like all in kind of family thingy-wingy. And then Monty, we all didn't listen to what he had to say anyway. We wound up getting a deal and, you know, a standard kind of cheap, shitty, standard 18-year-old, 19-year-old kind of...
And was it just like hit the road running, kind of like while the record comes out and just get on tour sort of thing? Or when did you notice, too, the shift of the...
Well, we did the record, and then I think we immediately... we set out. We literally... We drove... I remember we bought a van, and we literally drove to California in 3-4 days. Our Life of Agony's first tour was with KMFDM and the Janitortures. Which was...
Janitorches, they play Lemoire's.
Yeah, which was fucking insane. You know,
They're from
I was
Florida, right?
watching
They're from
dudes
Florida.
getting
Yeah.
throat fucked every night. It was amazing. I was like, see, that's what you get for being a fuck. No, but and from that point on, it was like, you know, I mean, we lived in a van for 3, 4, 5 years. We lived on $10 a day. We
Yeah.
lived on
Yeah.
McDonald's
Yeah.
salads. We were living on phone cards.
Yeah.
Like, Commodore 64
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like the thing.
Yeah.
There was no
People don't understand that now.
People don't get
easy
it.
way fucking, you know, this
Yeah.
was like really organic. Like, we were prairieing our way across America.
Which is
and
amazing.
Well, back then there was no other way.
Yeah,
That's how you
exactly.
did it.
And being from where, it was crazy when you go on the road and where we're from, because where we're from, I'm sorry to like inject this, but the thing is, like, where we're from, we're always like alpha. You know what I mean, like the New York City, and it's just weird. And when we go to like, when I went on the first tour, like I saw the Midwest, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
'Cause
I
it's so
couldn't-
different, right?
I couldn't stand how people like where we're from. I'm glad I grew up where I'm from, because these motherfuckers, it's fucked up, and
Yeah.
and to be different and us go out there to see like these. I feel bad for the people when I was on tour, like the people from those places, those towns, they couldn't be different. You know, or they get persecuted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fuck, especially the people get persecuted with punk rock. You know, anything is different. You know what I mean? So it was. I would bug the fuck out on the road.
What you mean.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm so happy I'm a like I'll always say it, like New York should be its own country.
Yeah.
There should be America, and then there should be New York fucking city, including all the boroughs, the Bronx,
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Right.
Queens,
Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Long Island.
I don't know about Long Island. I don't know about Jersey. No. This should be its own.
Honey, you better watch out. I have my best tricks from New Jersey.
No, I know.
Tell him, Michael.
No, listen.
Tell him,
I love
Michael.
Jersey, love Queans,
Yeah.
love all the tri-state areas.
love
New
Queens,
York
too.
should
I
be
love
its.
Please, thank you.
No, I lived in Astoria. I represented Queens for a while. Yeah, but I had to go back to Brooklyn. Sorry.
I live in Jersey now.
Wow.
Jersey City. It's like fifth borough.
Hoboken?
Sixth borough.
Hoboken?
Jersey City.
Oh, you fell off, man.
I know.
You better get back to Queens or Brooklyn.
My girl wants to go
teasing.
back to Queens. Her father lives in Astoria, where right by my old high school. So it's like I gotta go, but it's so expensive now.
No, I know what you mean.
You know?
I know. It's all my livelihood goes to my rent, my food, and my dog.
Yep.
People think that we've got these
Oh my God.
lush, extravagant lives. Please, I'm saving my money to buy my dog organic chicken so she can eat properly. And
great.
I just came from work, working construction to right here.
Isaac knows how many jobs I have to do during the week. I'm out like,
This poor guy worked for Jamie Johnston for years.
Oh,
Oh.
Jamie,
Johnston!
better take care of
Oh
these
my
motherfuckers. Jamie. Flying high with your monster drinks over there.
so Mina, so River Runs Red comes out, which obviously is like huge record, influential. Like I would say for everybody, my generation, even yours. Like,
Crown Thorns, I tell you.
what is that like for you writing those songs and just seeing that react like that, especially at a moment when it's like MTV was a thing. That's it was just such a very different.
We got Beavis
world.
and Butthead.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
do you mind just like what does it feel like? Like just it's because it's so. I mean, and again, it's something that will never happen again
be
because those
honest,
things aren't around. Like,
that-
there's no MTV again. There's no, kids will never get exposed to music the same way that sort of my generation did, which was like I heard about Life of Agony because my brother had got the demo tape and we listened to, and it was just like this discovery aspect.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about it on past episodes.
I
but-
think what you're talking about, there's a romanticism that has been lost
for sure.
in our world.
Oh, man, yeah.
But look, if you're not a kid that grew up with the vinyl and the cassette days, yeah, we can say you fucking totally missed out on the integrity of the art, what went into making records and the whole process. And yeah, when you get things too fast, it's like there's a lack of gratitude, there's a lack of appreciation.
Right.
And this is what's happening across the board. Not just in the music industry, but the
No,
entertainment.
everywhere, right.
Netflix is buying
so
all
fast.
the actors
Yeah,
out. They're
yeah.
buying all the movies.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Because Hollywood's getting even weirder with all the
Right.
weird stuff that's going
So
on.
coming
there.
from someone like you who was in in like that rock metal
Yeah.
era that was just again Headbangers Ball was it's a very again like you said romanticized
honestly,
classic era.
listen,
Like what was that like?
honestly, I never did, and I don't pay attention to that shit. I'm me. I'm a creative individual. My purpose is to create art,
Which is rad,
music,
yeah.
word, and to move vibration and sound and energy in the form of music and word. Whether it's on whether it sees the light. I have so much music that are in like all my vaults or my hard drives. I have so much written music and stuff that has been laid out that like I've written enough for 30 lifetimes.
That's
I don't
amazing.
even know if. So this is just what I have to do. Otherwise,
Get out.
I
Of
literally,
course. Yeah, get
I
out.
literally suffer from mad anxiety, mad depression.
Self-destruct?
I
Self-destruction?
self-destruct
Yeah.
with drugs. I take the drugs out of my house because I'll do them all.
Yeah.
I'm a very like high. I have no in betweens. I'm very emotional. I'm very sensitive, and
Well, that's a good,
I'm
that's
very.
a good thing.
I'm a creative person, and this is what I do. I don't pay attention to results. My result is the here and now.
Which is
How do I
amazing.
feel now I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel very happy. I feel very satisfied. Right now is a beautiful, beautiful fucking moment. Has nothing. And when you can energize your here and now moment and like really feel like I feel very happy with Michael. We're doing this podcast together.
I'm
We're
so
doing it with
happy.
you. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
it's great.
And that's all that really matters. That's the art of the moment and creative living. I know it sounds strange, but this is how I live my life. And if I think about all the results and the accolades and the advanced praises or the advanced condemnations, because I get people praise me, but people condemn me a lot. If you go to YouTube and
my God,
they are so nasty to me.
Listen.
Like I can't even get on there because
it hurts me. Hey, listen,
I know it hurts me
listen,
too.
It hurts me. Who I am, people like someone say something, they'll say some horrible stuff, and I'll be like,
it's like, why do you do? Yeah.
But I have to look at it, and then I wanted to silent Jay and Bob and go find them and kill them. But then I stop, and if people say this and that, though, that sucks. It hurts me, man. I'm a very sensitive. People feel like, I'm sensitive, but I'm a real sensitive person. You know how I am.
You are.
And, but I'm like my thing is this. I go either or. I guess. My music, I always I love my music because mine, but my thing is just way people more talented than me. But
it's not about that.
No,
it's not about that.
That keeps me going. Every day, every day I'll walk through. I'll go anywhere I am in New York City, anywhere in the world. And people are like, yo, Danny Diablo, you say your music changed my life. I'm like, what the? Just go ahead, change your life. You're fucked up. You know what I mean? It's crowd up. Your lyrics, every day, take pictures with fans, and it moves me. And I love creating, and the thing is some people don't only hear stories about me. You know what I mean? Which some are very true also. You know what I mean? I have a big heart, but the thing is I also have I will not let someone bully anyone. I'll stop things. You know what I mean? But the thing is I come from somewhere. I know who I am. I know I made a lot of mistakes in life, but also...
Yeah, but that's how we learn.
Yeah,
we're human beings.
Yep.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to make mistakes. We're here to figure it out or not.
It gets hard sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
Don't
it
say
gets...
It gets... It's a little joke to them.
Oh, no.
It gets... What? Oh, bro?
Yeah, bro.
It gets... But
it's
listen,
it's
there is no fucking life manual on how to do it. The only thing we can do is be kind, respect one another. Everyone just needs to own their own feelings instead of judging people and what they're doing and stuff. And let me just correct you for a hot minute. You make the worst mistakes when you fucking compare yourself as an artist to other artists.
Yeah, I know.
I can say, oh yeah, I'm a good singer, but I'll never be like Pavarotti, or I'll never be like this one, or I'll never be able to play piano like Nina Simone, or I can never play... Or I could never, plan my death like David Bowie, or... You can't do that. It'll drive you nuts. God, divinity, the universe, call it what you will, has given you special, unique, and authentic ways on how to intuitively get all this energy out of you. Respect it and idolize it, and that's... You should be comparing yourself to the last bit you put out. And it ends there. Fuck. I used to do that more than I do now, because sometimes you can't help it. You're like, oh, what is this one? Can't write a fucking song, but this one's all over the fucking place. But you can't be like that, because it's like, hey, there's a song for everyone. There's an artist for everyone. There's just... And that's what I said. I don't get caught up on results. I don't give a fuck if we sell it out or not. I don't give a fuck if the 10 kids show up or 100 kids show up. I'm just going to do me the best I could
Which is
in
amazing.
the moment that I have.
As a fan, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
I don't care about, I have a solo record on the lines right now called The Moans, short for hormones, because they drive me fucking crazy. But and I'm not on any labels. I own all my masters except for Died Laughing, the record Michael and I did together. But I own everything. Some things sell, some things don't. But, Spotify does great. Streaming does great. I have great number amounts of streaming. Thank you, everyone, for streaming my shit. Because, to be honest, sometimes sales are so bad sometimes that I'm like, nobody loves
Yeah.
me anymore. No one's listening to my music. All this hard work, all the thousands of dollars I spend on hiring people and doing this and doing
Yeah.
to get my solo music out. No one's listening. But then, I was surprised the other month to see. I never really. Again, I never go to Spotify. I never see who's listening, who's doing what.
And so it's the stats, right?
And then actually, because I was discussing it with one of my girlfriends, and she was just, while we were on the phone together, she just happened to go to Spotify and was just like, dude, you had like 9,000, 10,000 listen this week on this album alone.
It's amazing.
That's dope.
And I'm like, wow, like, okay, people are listening.
Yeah, and
you know?
I want to
And-
plug everybody to go back and listening to your Died Laughing record, and I want to talk about that. So you and Michael worked on that record. Can we talk a little bit about that record,
Sure,
Michael?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I think Mina had already made maybe 3 albums with Life of Agony then.
Yeah,
and she wanted to do something different. I think our friendship was new
Yes, it
then.
was.
But, you know, when we met each other, we had this immediate connection that we knew that we were going to be in each other's lives forever.
I love the production on that record.
Oh, it's
It's
very,
so
very
good.
beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I don't remember the order of things, but, you know, Mina had all of these incredible songs she wanted to lay down.
I know the order.
So, you know, at that moment, we wanted a producer, and there was a guy in Long Island named Jared Kotler. He had a band called Marcy Playground.
Right.
They had like a #1 hit.
All right.
Sex and Candy was
Sex
that.
and
Yep.
Candy.
Remember that track?
Yeah.
I smell sex.
We met with him, and
He knows
we
that.
liked him. And then, you know, he was connected with all these session guys from Bowie's band, from Lenny
That's
Kravitz's
amazing.
band.
Yes.
And so he pulled all these people in, and the atmosphere on that record is just
I mean, you can just tell. Like,
beautiful.
I want to tell any of our fans who have not gone back and checked out that specific record. I was saying to Mina earlier before we were recording that I actually back in 2003 had caught the weekend of shows that you did at CB's Gallery and a show in Connecticut, and it was so awesome to see those songs. I mean, you know, Danny has mentioned a couple times. I love that record. And
Well, the record is still very, very inspiring.
yeah. I mean, I listened to it all. Even
Listen, it's a timeless piece.
it's so
That's-
good.
It's
That's-
timeless.
that's
It's
amazing.
classic fucking adult
Yeah, I want
rock.
to urge everyone to please go and check that record out. It's on streaming on every platform. I've checked that out. I listen to it myself on Spotify. But
Oh,
go ahead, Mike.
wonderful.
I want you to keep talking about the record.
No, you know, we had all these songs. We found this producer, and it was just one of those things that it just all wound up working out so beautifully.
Yeah.
So
And
We
it
got
was cool.
incredible people. Jack Daly, bass player from Kravitz's band. Jerry
Amazing.
Leonard, Spooky Ghost, who is Bowie's band director and guitar player for the past, since before the Heathen days. Well, I think he started playing with Bowie live in the Heathen days. So Jerry Leonard's been with Bowie for
That's
over 10
amazing.
years. Stephen Wolf on drums, who's played with from people from Elton John to Miley Cyrus.
That's amazing.
Jeff Dole, who's played with Duncan
sick.
Sheik. Like, we've galvanized, like, between him and Jared, like, the heads. And then my solo studio albums became kind of like a nostalgia for, like, other articulated musicians, like Flea wound up playing trumpet on an album.
so
That's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
I
I
remember that
get
was
Damien
amazing.
Rice's piano
Ah, so
player
sick.
on this album and this one. So, like, that record definitely set me up for a nostalgia in the studio.
You know what was cool too was on that record you guys released a lot of singles. Like I used to buy a lot of the imports back then that had like different mixes or acoustic. I mean, it was just like I said as a fan.
Well,
I
that's
just-
that's a great thing when you
Yeah,
have
I
when you have a
appreciated
great
that.
label that
Yeah.
was into your thing, putting money into the
Yeah, it was
product
so-
that you put out,
just like I mean,
rather than being like, okay,
See where it lands. Right?
okay, sorry.
But no, it was just cool. Like I mean, even just the way you guys had done the packaging was so. Everything about that rollout was so sick. So that I
very,
just wanted to
very
plug that
beautiful
while we had the
record.
time
Thank you.
because I love
Yeah.
that
Thank
record
you.
and I think that people
Cool.
should go back and discover
Sure.
that record.
You know, I gotta listen. I gotta ask you guys questions like just like Michael, Mina, like in our scene. You know how people are.
Yes.
Like the whole macho.
I do think it's getting better.
It's getting way better. But thank God for people like you people, like us all together, like
Absolutely.
how
Oh,
we speak and how we friendship and show the rest of the world that this is life. You know, people are people, no matter what they are. It's all about love and expressing ourselves.
Of course.
But to be in our scene, and you guys know how you were from early on. Like, how was it for you guys to deal with these like assholes sometimes?
Well, I
You know what I'm
hid.
saying? Like
I hid my whole life.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I felt like I had to like put like my angel divine wings to really cover up what I was really going through. I think that's why when someone like Michael came into my life, Michael showed me soulfully, separated my physical vessel in a sense, but soulfully, Michael, I mean, obviously, like, whatever you want, whatever umbrella title you want to call me, trans, girl, boy, neither, both, this or that, alien, this, I don't care.
Alien.
I have a... I like that.
Beautiful alien. The girl who fell to earth. It's a funny thing. When people talk about people being in the closet, I was never in the closet. I knew nothing about closets. I was very closeted. It's almost like they say closets are for clothes. I was just always myself.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. We're human beings. And I just took no shit from nobody ever.
Which is
but
awesome.
The funny part is, really, in the music business, I never had problems with people. I just never did.
Yeah.
I think because I was just so out there and in your face and no nonsense that nobody was going to fuck with me to begin with.
They probably
and
thought
if
you
they
were,
did, I'm sure Isaac would have said something. John Joseph definitely would have said something. Yeah. And I had all those people around me. And thank God I never had to use them in that way.
Right. Yeah.
But, when I went out to shows, I was always tanked to begin with. So I thought nothing of walking up to half these guys who were adorable, grabbing them by the shoulders and going, "Oh my God, do you work out? I love your arms," and then planting a big kiss on them.
That's great.
I have no idea what they thought about all that, but I did all that on purpose as well to show them, like, when people had already said, "I like Michael."
Yeah.
So, it's like we're all in this together.
Yeah, yeah.
I always felt like our music comes
you
together
hate.
because it's like you like this stuff, because I always say if you like hardcore punk rock, like you're crazy, right? Because like no one just gradually
Fucked up. Everyone's fucked
you
up.
come from something that you search out, or at least in my generation, that's what it was. It was like I went to something because I didn't play sports. I wasn't a jock. Like I used to get made fun of by the jocks who said like, "Oh, you're a skater." I never even owned a fucking skateboard, but I listened to you know what I mean? Like I listened to heavier music, so.
Right.
That's one of those things. Like I always felt the cool thing about our community was that it was obviously, sometimes it's intimidating, whatever. But for the most part, it is very.
There were more gay people in that scene than you would know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty much, I had half of them already. But
And you know what?
Somebody in an interview recently said to me, "How did your sexuality come into the music when you worked with artists?" It didn't come into it because that was not was
I wouldn't think it
important.
would, yeah.
All we did was we talked about the music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what was important.
That was
Unless we knew we wanted to sleep with each other.
Right.
Then
Right.
if not, it was just about the music.
was a love
That's
for the
why
music.
we were all there together.
Right.
That's why we're all here together. But it's great that we can talk about all this stuff because we all come from different backgrounds.
Totally.
And all of what people may be uptight about or dislike about me or Mina for being different, all of this kind of diffuses that,
Yeah.
because
definitely.
we're all human beings. We all love. We all want to be loved.
Right.
And, I'm sorry if you're like an uptight person.
I feel bad.
Go to therapy. I don't
No,
know.
that's what I feel bad for anybody who has to like do anything to like either discourage somebody, diss someone. It's just like, dude, get
It's
a
like,
fucking
you
life.
You have
like,
to encourage people
Yeah.
no matter what.
You know what? Those are usually the culprits
Right.
that are guilty.
Yeah.
Like people telling me that, what I'm experiencing isn't genuine or authentic, but they're the first
Right.
motherfuckers jerking off.
right.
If I post a cleavage pic or,
Cleavage, you pull them out for everybody.
But I'm just saying,
Thank
like,
you.
No, you're right.
Thank you.
these are the people that are usually
Yeah.
the first ones that are,
Like the weird, like the guys
Yeah.
go fuck like that shit. I'm like,
Well, I
'Cause
think
they're so
I think
uncomfortable
I don't know. I think
with
a lot
themselves,
of those people
you know?
have fear.
Right.
And
People
I
feel
used
what
to-
they don't understand.
that's the thing. I
Right.
think too, people fear being themselves, like you said.
That's
a lot
correct.
of times too, it's
that's more punk rock
Listen,
than anything.
whoever you are, people are either going to
Think-
like you or not like you. It's just the way of the world,
And
unfortunately.
think about too how many times say like, and maybe more for my generation, it's like you see somebody who acted a certain way towards, then 10 years later it's like they're like your when they're your best friend, they're this, they're that, where they would have never acted a certain way or talked to you. You know, and it's just that's
people just you grow also, but someone you can always tell if someone's an asshole from the first time you meet the person.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So like, if he's an asshole 20 years ago, he's still an asshole now.
Right.
He's still a racist fuck, or
right.
like he's a homophobic. They were like that always. Nothing really changed. Like somebody here and there, and sometimes they 360, but very rarely.
Yeah, but they're the first ones that want their dick sucked by a transsexual or a gay or a gay guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what's funny? My lady Alexandra, she's in the whole world of just nightlife, and I go parties with her. It's like I'm like it's just so crazy. I'm there like there are people like. Isaac? Like, what's up, yo? My jacket, DMS jacket. What's up, yo?
Great, right?
I'm in the dungeon. What's up, girl? yo, no one parties harder than I used to party. I used to grab my girl 3 days on fucking cocaine and Molly. And now I'm like, whoa, man, my life was like a rock and roll star. My life was fucking like boom. But I'm glad that I could sit here and just talk about like. It's love and it's like great energy.
Like we were talking about before this host, we were talking about dogs and unconditional love.
Love is how we started.
Shout out to Miles'
the big
dog.
problem,
Graves.
The big problem is
Graves.
people love with conditions.
Yeah.
I love you, but not if you put that dress on.
Right.
Right.
I love you, but not if you stick your dick into that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I love you, but again, it brings us back to all the
It's
institutions.
almost like I love you, but you don't look like me.
Yeah,
You know?
I love.
Right.
Yeah, I love you, but not.
No, it all really does have to be unconditional.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Getting my dog 6 years ago, seriously, not one human being in my family or friends or whatever, nothing has taught me how to unconditionally love myself the way my dog has.
It's the best feeling in the world when you see him.
It's just... And now it's like I'm on this repair, for self-care journey to really take care of my life, to really be the best that I possibly can be.
Absolutely.
I love myself more than I ever have. I have my days too where
but you guys...
where I don't love myself, where I feel unworthy, where I feel purposeless, where I feel like, I'll never be that beautiful girl that's on that sign or whatever.
And that's
I know it has nothing to do with that, but this is the human condition, the way we're brought up in this world. It's like a very... we're really not taught to love ourselves in this planet. I'm sorry, like the education.
Because then you're like conceited.
But
I love myself.
It's all about.
I look good.
I know.
You look great. I love you.
I know about dogs. DAWG. I had one last night. He was at my house for an hour, and then I threw him out and made some pasta.
Yeah. But I'm looking at both of you, and there's something to listen. I'm in a journey of life right now that I have to start treating myself better and eat better and feel better and love better. And but I still get caught in that dark.
Well, we're human.
But I'm saying, but like I'll do boom boom boom. I'll complete like everything, like a movie, an album, a record release party, this and that. Then all of a sudden,
you get a dip.
Then one day, 3
Those
days,
are the
I'm
worst.
fucking 3 days. I don't know what happened, but I still got those demons,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. I got those demons.
Nice word.
Demons, and I
Serious.
have to get it out.
Yeah.
And I used to get. Listen, I'm talking about being from a guy who, whoever. I still my background is when people say this and that, but still I come from a gang background. I come from a Latino background, the macho shit, but still I get caught up in it. I think that my lady.
I love
helped me out.
Latino men. Sorry. Sorry.
So, but
Go ahead.
My lady has helped me a lot. So like, hey, it's all right to feel this way. And sometimes I'm like, when am I gonna stop the bullshit? And I try to help people. I try to help.
So wait a
people.
minute. Give me a version of bullshit for you. say what is it?
Well,
So you just made an album, you just read a book, you just saw a movie, and then you come down from that, and you come down from that, and what happens?
I get into a hole.
And where does that take you?
The Woodhaven Hotel.
And, okay.
Yeah. I'm saying,
I understand that.
But I'm saying, but you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, like, I am loved, everything, but it takes after fucking like $500 of fucking wherever, and a fight with a loved one, and
a heart transplant.
I got
Listen,
hey, Mena.
What was that? Do you remember the rat in Boston?
Yeah.
There's a guy who worked the door there. I forgot his name. He had a Brillo pad on his head for a toupee, and he had that box. Yeah, honey, he smoked too much.
But you changed your whole life.
Well, you know, that's why I asked you, what are those demons then after the high? Not high drugs, high creatively happens to you.
Well, that's what
so
happens.
when I had all that creativity and I would come down, I wasn't paying attention to my life really. Yeah. So all of that was about sex and drugs, literally. It was sex and drugs. And the sex and drugs and not paying attention to my life.
Yeah.
And your health, you mean?
I got HIV.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of HIV.
I know.
And, you know, I decided, you know, I was angry that I had HIV because it was the 80s. And all my friends, gay friends of mine in the music business or not in the music business, they were all dying. And I got sick when there was no medication. Yeah. And I was on my sofa for 6 months. Oh. And my doctor kept saying, hang on, something's coming. And within a year, there was one medication. I took it. I must have been 80 pounds, and I went back to Electra to start working. Yeah. Now, I never had full-blown again, but after I had full-blown, I started smoking crack again.
Oh, my God.
I started drinking again. Oh. And then finally, let's see, I'm 32 years old, and I thought this has to stop. But you know what? I'm not going to stop. But I worked for a major corporation, and they said to me, you're going to rehab. I was furious. I was like, honey, I'm not going to rehab. It's Christmas in 3 days. Oh, yeah. I talk about this. I have a book coming out of a memoir. Oh, yeah. Lots of stories that I've not told people.
I can't wait.
And the title is kind of long, but, you know, once you see it on paper and in Barnes & Noble, it's called I Am Michael Alago. Breathing music, signing Metallica, beating death.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did all of that. And so at one point, I just thought, because I am immune compromised, I'm killing myself. So finally, and, you know, sometimes I say only 12 years ago, but not only. Sometimes people find it hard to stay clean and sober one day. One day. So what I did was I knew at 47 years old, 12 years ago.
That's how old am I now?
Okay. Well, at 47, darling, at 47.
You see what's going on?
At 47
See what I'm talking about?
The confluence of things happening around the table. So at 47 years old, I thought, I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to be a no-show when I tell my mother I'm coming for Thanksgiving and I don't come. I don't want to be that person who, when I was using, my father was dying, and I said, oh, Dad, you know, I can't pay the rent. Can I borrow your credit cards? It was because I couldn't take cash advances from my corporate card, so I used all, and then 3 days later he died. Do you know how I felt after that? So I do go to rehab, and I stay dry. Dry means you don't do anything program-wise to just help you out. So I was like angry.
Mad at the world.
I was mad at the world. I was like, I'm going to show you. What am I going to show you? Nothing. So one day somebody said, do you want to drink? So I stayed dry from 32 to 40. At 40 years old, somebody said, do you want a drink? I said, I certainly do. Well, by then, I'm drinking. I'm doing crack again. I get put in jail a couple times. I wind up in crack dens in New Orleans. And in the morning, I'm in New York. I have no idea how I got there. Jesus. And that was okay. Until one day I realized this is not okay. And I don't want to die. So one day I got up, it was a Sunday, October 21st, 2007, and I remember that day because it was the most important day of my life that I decided I'm changing my life. So I went to an AA meeting and I heard people talk and I thought, I want a new life. I mean, I did so many things growing up that were really fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a career, but on a personal level, I was suffering, and I didn't want to suffer anymore. So now I have almost 12 years clean and sober. I go to AA every morning, Monday to Friday at 9 o'clock. It's 1 hour.
Yeah.
And if 1 hour is going to clear my fucking head up from fear to love, I'm going.
That's amazing.
I don't ask why, I just go.
That's amazing.
So, you know, I have an extraordinary life.
Yeah.
And that extraordinary life brought me here to y'all.
Yeah.
Could be a why it brought me here because you wanted to talk to me. You wanted
Yes.
to talk to Mina. I've changed so much. And, you know, we're all in the moment right now.
Yeah,
Which
thank
is
you for sharing
beautiful.
that story with us,
It's-
man. That's
You know,
awesome.
isn't that-
I-
so when they talk about having a new life, when one becomes clean and sober from crystal meth, from cocaine, from drugs, from alcohol, those are all hard things to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
people sometimes don't love themselves enough
Yeah.
where they say, you know, I'm just not good enough. I'm not. Everybody is good enough. You are good enough. And you know when people say it's impossible, there's that thing that they say about the word impossible. I'm possible.
You know who
I'm
said that?
possible. Who, baby?
Hepburn. That was a quote. Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey or Catherine?
Audrey, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I could
But no,
be totally wrong.
I'll wrap
but-
this up.
Yeah.
But you know, so now I have 12 years clean and coming up 12 years clean and sober, and I show
That's
up. I
awesome.
show
That's
up.
amazing.
Are you scared?
Scared?
Ever
No.
to go? Ever to?
No, because that fear was lifted many years ago, and I know what that is like, and I do not want it on any level whatsoever.
Can I tell you something like that? Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
like,
thank you for sharing that story with us.
Because that really moved. Like, my thing is like my girls like everyone says I'm loved. Like you are loved. I got people. I got family. People love me.
course.
But the thing is like sometimes I don't care. It's like sometimes
But that's okay.
No, but I don't care.
As long as you don't care and not go to the hotel,
yeah.
honey.
That's where it happens.
Right.
I'm just saying, but no, I'm just saying, it's just scary sometimes. You know, even when I have a son, you know, it's scary. To
How
be,
old is he?
He's 10 years old.
Oh, nice.
So listen, I love you, Dillinger. So it's just,
he's gorgeous.
Me too, Dillinger, and I haven't met you yet.
So it's just like scary sometimes because like when I had my son, my father died. He never seen my son. I want
You want to
to
see,
see him grow old.
Well, you want
And
something
I want
great for him.
Yeah, I want him. I don't want him to be writing graffiti, being a gang.
Well, you know what? He's going to be what he's going to be.
He's gonna be.
and there's going to be love.
He's special.
there.
He has love. He's all
Absolutely.
love. And
Yeah,
I'm saying like, you guys keep on pushing the whole earth, love, the beauty, and the music. Just keep pushing it because we need people like you.
But also, you know, I was just wrapping this up. You know, I don't drink or drug no matter what.
Yeah.
My mom died last year. I could have drank
Sorry about
over it.
Yeah, definitely.
She was cute. She was 94. She was pint size. She was fabulous. You know, they found a friend of mine, 25 years old, in the bathroom with a needle in his arm on New Year's Eve. His mother found him. Oh, yeah, Happy New Year, man. I pray for these people. I don't drink or drug no matter what because I have a new life. And in my new life, I am responsible and I show up. If I was drinking the night before, I wouldn't have been here today. I would have given you some bad excuse, some lie.
Yeah.
I don't lie anymore because I don't have to lie.
Yeah.
So I show up for life. And when I'm responsible,
I love that.
people
Showing up for life.
want to
So
be
awesome.
around you.
Yeah.
So when someone like you, if you're freaking out one night, you know, and you want to go to that hotel, you go, you know, I'm not going to go. I'm going to call Michael
Definitely.
because maybe I'll bring you down from that whole thing. And you know, little by little, we either stop or not stop
Yeah.
that bad behavior.
Yeah.
I had to stop. You know, right now, 12 years, because I don't drink and drug, the virus in my body they can't even find anymore.
That's
it's
amazing.
at zero.
That's amazing.
It's at zero.
That's fucking amazing.
That's amazing.
So you think I want to go back? No, I have a new life, and in my new life,
Yeah.
Drew saw something. He said, you know, I love your life. I want to make a film. That film,
Which is amazing.
it's fabulous, the film. It really is.
It's just like
and
I
I don't say that from ego.
No.
It's like when,
When
you,
I saw-
when
I-
you tell the truth,
It's amazing.
people want to hear the truth. And from that movie, people at a publishing company saw, and they said, we want to give you a book deal.
It's amazing.
So I love how my life is because it's being navigated so beautifully.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
So as we wrap up, let's plug the book. So you're working on a book right now. What else do you have coming out, Michael? And where can we find you online? Tell the listeners where we can reach you.
I
and
am
stuff.
on Facebook every single day.
Great.
I post music. I
Whore.
post art. I post music, art, and
Facebook
theater.
whore.
Great.
And I post
Because you do photography too.
Prayer
real
and
quick,
medication.
right?
I was going to say prayer and meditation. No, I was going to say prayer and medication. But prayer and meditation. People can find me on Instagram all the time. I'm working on a book of black and white portraits.
That's great.
This memoir is coming out. Like I said, it's called I Am Michael Alago, Breathing Music, Signing Metallica.
Do we know when that's going to come out
Death.
yet?
You're interrupting me.
Sorry.
I hope it's coming out the last quarter of this year.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. And, that just takes up my whole day, every day. It's like I'm in a rabbit hole right now. I can't do anything else. I have to focus on this book. And it's real good. It's real good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Can't
so
wait.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
Thank you for asking.
Mina, what are you working on?
Life of Agony's doing a new record.
Awesome.
We started a few months ago.
That's great.
We're working with Sylvia Massey,
Oh,
who's an award-winning producer, engineer,
that's
blah,
cool.
blah, blah. She's done the 2 records. She's done a whole slew of, charismatic
That's awesome.
acts and songwriters.
A window right now for that, or are we still?
Yeah, we have a June delivery date
that's
or
awesome.
release date. June delivery date, and it'll be released in the fall. There is no
Is it like
date.
the last quarter of this year?
Yeah, it'll
That's
be
awesome.
released hopefully in the fall, and we just basically have dates booked up. We're playing May 10th at the PlayStation Theater with Overkill, our boys Overkill.
awesome.
Who,
That's going to be a sick,
That's gonna be great.
insane,
it's,
fantastic
it's halfway
night.
sold. It's going to be selling out. If you guys want to come, obviously.
Brooklyn and Jersey in the house. That's what
Uh-huh.
we're
Yeah.
doing.
So great.
And Overkill has been great friends of ours since the very beginning. They actually put us on a bunch of dates. So yeah, we're doing that May 10th. We have festival dates lined up. Got the book. I just released a record January 18th last year with my side project, the Neptune Darlings. I don't know if you ever heard of the Neptune Darlings, but it's a very eclectic kind of, I don't know, just listen to it. It's fucking like, it's weird, kind of rock, classic, ambient, kind of weird. I'm trying to redefine music with this project, but it's kind of, it's hard, but whatever.
And where can fans catch up with you online? Instagram?
I'm on Instagram.
Yes.
At Mina Caputo.
And on any street corner in New York City.
and I'm on a lot of street corners in New York City.
I'm teasing.
And
I'm teasing
on
because of the
Twitter.
love.
Awesome.
At Mina Caputo at Twitter.
Yep.
And my Twitter is like kind of designed for encouraging lightheartedness, and I'm always writing little. Actually, I'm writing just like messages or self-reminders to remind myself, like when I'm
I see that.
days when I'm wrestling with my own demons and struggles, I generalize my thoughts so other people could relate to it rather
That's
than
awesome.
being like, so. But like I don't really talk about my music that much there. Other people do, but I'm not on Facebook. I deleted that shit.
No, that's fine.
a few years ago.
Yeah,
hate
I don't use it
Facebook.
either.
Everyone I don't want to be contacted by
Is on there.
Facebook,
Yeah.
so I delete it. And pretty much 80% when I first came out 10 years ago, pretty much all of the naysayers were there.
Yep.
My uncle, this one, this cousin, that brother, this fucking guy, this one. Everyone who was, you're doing, you got your clique, you got a fucking whole 20 entourage of 20 heads around you. But the day you say this or that, nobody's your friend anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're alone.
You can't find anybody.
I
But I'm happy.
But I remember when we spoke the first time.
You know what? I first came out. Two people hit me first. Jose Mangan.
Yeah.
You know Jose?
Yeah, Jose.
And this motherfucker wrote me a 500,000-page letter on Facebook.
That's amazing.
Telling me how much he loved me and supports me in my decisions and been seeing you my whole life and I got your back and blah, blah, blah. And then he got into the Isaac lingo. Anyone fucks with you, seriously, every club that LOA goes to, whether I ex Isaac or not, because at first when I was because I've been assaulted, I've been bit, I've been attacked. I just got bit last year in San Diego from some crazy chick on PCP.
My God.
So it ain't just the guys I'm worried about.
It's just
like just
Just a fan.
kind of weird people could get very weird when they
Right.
think
That's
they
weird.
know you or whatever.
They're speaking to him.
But like when we're showing up in New York places, I'm seeing like mad DMS fucking jackets, and I know they're there to protect me. So like, I'm not advocating that kind of shit.
No.
But the fact that I got his blood protecting my blood, and it's like nothing needs to be said. Nothing, it could be chaotic, 1,000 people pit, just complete chaos, and no one's getting out of line. None of his cats are disrespecting, because when you're trying to do a gig, and then everyone's fighting every other vocal note, you can't even sing through a song. But everyone is so cool and just is so respectful and so loving, and I can't begin to tell you how much love I get. How many guys that'll never come out to say in public. I would never out people because I'm not that style. But
correct.
Mad motherfuckers want to put their dick inside of me. A lot of hot. What? What? You thought you were my boyfriend or something? No, but seriously, like, you know what?
Your
And
platonic
I
boyfriend.
know you are.
Come on.
But the thing that we're all talking about is like a lot of hearts and minds and souls, like just by people like us being out here like this, are literally moving mountains or other people's souls in the quietest way. Like I'm not in people's faces. Like
all the time.
I don't care if you like me or don't. I could give a fuck. I'm not gonna lose sleep if you don't like me. That was me maybe 20 years ago, which prevented me to coming out and to begin
Who you
with.
are.
Because I wasn't the strong person that I am now. So like now I don't care if you're my fucking father. You could go fuck yourself. You're never gonna change my intuitive calling. But I know my dad would have loved me. I know my mom would have loved me.
Man.
They got it. They came from the whole 60s era. They were dope heads. They get the whole, I'm sure they were in mad fucking orgies. Like, I'm sure my father was like, who knows, But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's,
Well, you were saying in closing. Talk about you're going to need an edit here, Mary.
We're not editing anything.
Oh,
here.
really?
No,
This is going to go on for 2 hours.
Good.
But in closing, I don't know if I said to you that people can find me online at both those places under Michael Anthony Alago. But in closing, also everything we were talking about, I feel gets encompassed in this one little quote that Mina wrote 3 days ago on Twitter.
All right, share.
Not everyone will understand you, and that's perfectly okay.
Oh, that's amazing. I know. I love you guys.
I love you too, man.
You know,
Guys, thank you.
Michael, I love you.
Oh,
Thank you
much.
both
Thank
for
you
being
so
on.
much. It
Happy
means so
to be
much,
here.
man.
I love how we all talk over each other. It's like the dinner table.
I love it. No.
Diablo's Den Podcast,
Bye.
number
Thank
5.
you.
Love you all.
Love you.
Guys, be sure to go to the mailing list, diablosdenpodcast.com. Check everybody out. Thank you again so
Thank
much
you,
to our
guys.
guest. We love you guys so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I got a piece so bad.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.